The Yorkshire coast has many fantastic fossil hunting locations. There's about 45 miles of coastline, the spine of which is made up of Jurassic cliffs dating to between 150 million and 200 million years ago. When searching on the Yorkshire coast, you can find Ammonites, belemnites, fossilised shells, crinoids, Whitby jet, and a whole host of other ancient treasures. Know where you're going. The types of ammonite, the preservation of ammonites, and the location of ammonites can differ from place to place. Take Saltwick Bay for example. There's plenty of ammonites to be found, but the preservation is sticky, meaning they don't split well at all. At Port Mulgrave, however, you've got a much better chance of a nice split. Each bay has different cut-off points and you should be aware of these. As a rule of thumb, always turn back a good hour before the tide starts coming back in. You will need to know what types of material to look for at the places you're going. For example, at Ravenscar, you'll want to look for this grey shelly material. Another example is at Robin Hood's Bay, where you'll want to look for this red shelly material. Each location along the Yorkshire coast will have its own unique material and matrices to look through, so make sure you do your research in advance. You'll find plenty of videos on YouTube to help with this. And on the Holderness coast, you'll find all kinds of material, as it was all brought down from further north during the last ice age in glaciers and is left as deposits all along the Holderness coast. There are some great YouTube channels that will help you research which materials to look for. There's even plenty of great forums on Facebook as well. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're out on the beach. Well, the first thing I look for is shape. So it's got to be 3D enough to have a full fossil in there, or spherical enough, ideally, to have a fossil in there. So this rock, for example, lovely in 3D and spherical. And the next thing we're keeping an eye out for is any signs of a keel on the edge of a rock, to show that there is a potential ammonite in there. So again, luckily with this one, I can see signs right there, the keel. So I know that there's definitely an ammonite in there. So always look for the shape first, keel second, and then thirdly is the colour. And that grey colour is a perfect colour. But there's all different types of colours. You've got nice red limestone, which can have some nice phosphoruses in that. But you get used to the colours and the rocks and the types of rocks the more that you do it, and the more rocks that you hit. Another good place to look is in fallen shell blocks. These can harbour nice nodules that are fresh out of the cliff, so always worthwhile turning them over, looking at the sides of big ones, and seeing what treasures they hold inside. When you get onto the beach, it can be an overwhelming place. There are cliffs, there's pebbles at the base of the cliffs, there's the foreshore, the backshore, the nearshore, the boulder fields. It's endless. There's also the rock pools, and this is a good place to look, as rocks and nodules and fossils all get stuck in the tiny rock pools. Here's an example of a nice nodule that got stuck in a rock pool as the tide went out. These nodules also often split well as they've been in the sea for a while, which softens them. Another good place to look, especially where there's clay deposits such as on the Holderness coast, is amongst the boulder fields. This is where you'll find fresh deposits that have come out of the cliffs and rolled down the beach. But really, the best rule of thumb is wherever there's rocks, there's fossils. So it doesn't matter if that's at the base of the cliffs, if that's on the foreshore, amongst the boulder fields. You're better off looking through rocks where there's likely to be fossils than hoping to find something fresh out of the cliffs. Also, it's important not to go anywhere near the base of the cliffs, as the cliffs on the Yorkshire coast are extremely dangerous and moving all the time. So thanks for watching my video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, my guide to finding fossils on the Yorkshire coast. It's a brilliant place, wonderful place to be. As long as you're safe, then no reason why you can't find plenty of fossils all along here.